Hello everyone. If you can hear us, can you please write in chat if we are audible enough? Hello everyone. This is Pritesh from Ingram Micro. Can someone in chat confirm if they are able to hear us?
Hi everyone, this is Hazem Mokhtar from ForcePoint. I think that we are ready to go right now. Most of the attendees are joining now. Please, if you are facing any challenges during my coming few minutes discussing with you solutions, we're gonna discuss it today. If you're facing any challenges that we are not audible enough, or we are facing any issues with the screen sharing or something like that, please put your comments on the chat, and we'll be able to fix it quickly. So first of all, my name is Hazem Moftah. I'm from ForcePoint team, based in UAE, looking after Middle East region. And I'm here with you today to discuss with you how can we help Office 365 customers to enhance the protection of Office 365. So as a quick objectives from our session today, we need to know, or we need to understand what compromises Office 365, and what actual how can ForcePoint help customers to maximize Office 365 investment and reduce the risk, and they can continue doing business better without any issues. Reviewing some customer use cases. We'll discuss it quickly, and we'll let you know how can ForcePoint solution help customers to cover these use cases. Also, I'll be discussing some best practices for demonstrating ForcePoint CASB as a cloud access security broker, and a DLB with a web security as well. So all of them together will give like a full end-to-end protection for Office 365 customers as well. I know that we we have a mix of the attendees between sales and pre-sales and MBS team as well. So that's why I will make it a little bit medium level between deep technical and high sales level. So I will make it something in between. But again, if you have any kind of questions you'd like to raise, it either deep technical or a kind of, higher level questions, please feel free to put it in the chat box, and we'll be able to take it at the end of our session. So as a quick intro about ForcePoint, whoever know about ForcePoint or the guys who used to know about us as a WebSense these old days. So just as a quick intro, how ForcePoint is created and developed this end-to-end portfolio in front of you. So ForcePoint has been developed and bought by Raytheon, which is one of the main defense contractors and investors in the US. That's a new brand name created just like 3 years ago. And it's like the generation of acquiring a lot of vendors together, like a WebSense, like some products from some vendors, like StoneSoft from McAfee, like user behavior analytics from Red Owl, like CASB solution from Skyfence, and all of these products acquired and built together for a purpose to deliver an end-to-end integration to cover all the customer use cases. So on top of our portfolio, you can find that the portfolio is enabled with a full enterprise DLP solution, along with a next generation firewall with SD-WAN capabilities on top of it as well. And also the CASB, we have it also on top of our portfolio to protect customers' cloud application. And also we have our web proxy and email security gateway is to take care of customer gateway channels, like scanning, protecting customers' email, and securing user access to the internet or to the web. And also we have our user behavior analytics engine on top of our portfolio, which is giving the user risk score analysis and leverage all of these products to adapt the security control on it to be oriented into user behavior and applies a dynamic way of data protection. In addition to that, we have also our insider threat solution, which gives more forensics and more detailed analysis for targeted users inside the organization. It could be a high-risk user or could be a highly classified user within your organization. So you can, get more analysis and more investigation how users are interacting with their endpoints. So moving forward, today we'll be focusing a little bit on our CASB, on our DLP, along with our web security as well, because all of them together work to protect Office 365. So just to have, or to give you like a quick, briefs about the customer journey to Office 365. So usually customers, they need to move to cloud. Yes, you can say it's not that much common in some region, and it's like something pushed for all organizations across other regions as well. But I would say that most of the customers now are moving to cloud. Okay, so and even those customers are saying that we are not, welcoming cloud. We don't like to move to cloud. So if you ask him where is your email, he will start saying it's on Office 365. So that's why most of the customers are adapting to Office 365 now. So we would say like 70% of the companies planning to move to Office 365, and they have to finalize that by end of 2019, which is the last year. And I'm sure that this year, the number is growing, and that's why we are saying confidently that most of the customers will move into Office 365. And there is a recognized issue need to be addressed that 85% of network and security concern is delaying user to migrate over there. Because one of the main issues migrating the user to Office 365, which is that data will be shared and uploaded to the public cloud applications, because data is the main oil of any kind of organization business, because this data should be moved freely and securely across all of customers or organization asset. So that's why there is a risk and there is like a kind of concern about the data, which is delaying the user to migrate to Office 365. One also a part of the user journey, which is a significant perceived threats exposure because of like 66% of Office 365 adapters. They usually have like an issues related to like a fear or a suspect, or they have like, or having like confirmed breach. So again, security concern, the fear that we're gonna move to something on cloud, there's a lot of threats will be exposed over there. And the reason they are having this fear because they don't have the visibility and control. Because and all of us we can touch that. Like as a normal users, we have a multiple accounts we're using on hundreds of cloud applications every day. Like I have my personal Dropbox, I have my personal Gmail, and I have my personal many accounts like on Amazon or whatever. I don't have the full visibility and control. That's why every one of us, I mean, having the doubt, is it okay to save my credit card number over there? Is it okay to upload my Emirates ID or to upload my passport? I mean, copy over there. Yeah, it's secured. I know. Yeah, it's like a highly, I mean, technology over there, and you can say like it's a highly vendor doing this kind of or delivering this kind of services. So we are sure that they are maintaining the high level of security. But we're still having this fear, and also organization having this fear because they didn't have the full visibility and control. Part of the journey as well, which is Microsoft tools. It's good to be used. However, it's a little bit expensive, especially for the customers. They need to have a CASB protection and they need to have all of this end-to-end protection from Microsoft. Usually, they need to go to E5 license and Office 365, which is a little bit crazy. I mean, from pricing perspective for organizations. Comes under the level of small to medium business organization, and even some large enterprises, they also don't accept the kind of, I mean, pricing from Office 365. And also this will require them like to be using a hybrid solution as well, which is make it more complicated for Microsoft tools to cover and take, I mean, the best approach of securing Office 365. Again, budget constraints, customers, you start to find it because now I invested on Office 365. Shall I need to go and invest in another solution like ForcePoint or whatever as a third-party tool to, I mean, to protect and adapt Office 365? So it's another constraint. You will find it as an objective from your customer. We'll discuss it now. And you have to answer it that instead of, I mean, Mr. Customer, instead of be concerned about the budget, you have to be concerned about, I mean, the loss and the financial loss could be behind your budget, behind this security breach could happen. Okay, so I mean, we are partners together, so we'll be facing customer every day. So that's why there is a key questions you need to ask to your customers when it comes to Office 365 security and adoption. So first of all, you need to know and understand exactly from your customer how much visibility does he need to have into all applications being used in this organization, because this will change the discussion dramatically. Because if the customer says that, okay, I would like to have some visibility on successful and failure logging. Okay, thank you, that's it. So no need to consider any security solution. Just go to your cloud provider like Office 365, Amazon, or whatever. He can give you such kind of audit logs or something like that. But if the customer is looking to have a visibility from where this application is accessed, whose user is accessing it, he's going to the behavior analysis level of user risk calculation. So in that case, the discussion will be more into a CASB solution to be protecting this, to act or to be implemented in front of this cloud application, so it can take a visibility and control for the activity happening to this cloud application. So it's really important to get the understanding what kind of visibility to what level customer need to get or achieve from his cloud application. Second question you need to understand, which is how far are the customer in adoption to Office 365? Still they are planning to do it, or they already started it? Are they in hybrid mode of Office 365? Is it a full Office 365 cloud? So the more understanding you get, the more, I mean, architecting, the more easy you will be able to architect solution to the customer. Because from ForcePoint perspective, we do support all, I mean, the deployment options related to Office 365 with our solutions. That's why you need to understand how customers are adapting to Office 365, and then you can continue, I mean, the discussion with the related deployment architecture from ForcePoint. How much controls customer need to have over mobile access for sanctioned cloud applications? So usually all the customers, they have, you will find like two kinds of applications at customer organizations. First one is like a sanctioned applications, and second one is unsanctioned applications. Sanctioned, it doesn't mean this is a corporate application or this is a business use application. Sanctioned, it means this is something organization is using to drive their business, and it's required to be protected and getting the control on it. Unsanctioned, it means, I would say this is a shadow IT part in any organization. So it means it's the kind of applications that end users inside organizations are using to facilitate their day-to-day work. However, as an IT security department, we don't have a visibility what exactly users are using or are doing in these cloud applications. So again, we need to understand, Mr. Customer, how you like to protect your science application, how you need, at what level you need to control the access to it. And the fourth point, which is what plans do you have to migrate and legacy application? Is it on IaaS kind of applications infrastructure, or is it cloud like fully on Amazon? Is it a fully on Azure? So again, you need to understand where is the customer cloud application? What is the architecture behind it? Is it like a tier one application like Office 365 or Amazon or Salesforce or whatever? Or is it like a kind of tier two cloud apps? Customer is using in his environment, because this will give us an understanding how we'll be able to integrate with these cloud applications. So if it's like a tier one cloud applications, you will find it supporting an API mode of integration. It will be supporting reverse proxy mode of integration. But if it's like a tier two kind of applications, always it will be limited into an API mode of integration. So again, you need to understand what is the customer application is, how is it, the architecture behind it, and then you will be able to know how can you integrate with it. And the most important one, or the lovely one I really like to ask the customer about and understand, which is the compliance requirement. Is it really required to have a compliance to meet within your organization? And if it's there, how could you do that when you move to cloud? I mean, usually clouds would be managed with different teams. So if I'm like a compliance and regulation department, how can we make sure that our Office 365 admins are doing the security configurations over there as per the compliance we are following, like GDPR, like BCI or whatever? So again, we need a solution to give us a visibility on cloud applications security configurations and how it's matched with our compliance we are following. So this is the more you get an understanding and ask for customers about these questions, the more you will be able to customize your solution offering to them. Again, I'd like to say you just need to understand and know your audience, because when you meet with the customer is trying to discuss how they need to, to get their buy-in about securing adoption to cloud. We will start seeing now in many organizations that they have like a C-level, title related to digital transformation. So again, this is one of the audience you need to, to meet with and discuss this topic with him. However, for effective technical code, you need to know how much does code play, in the role of their day-to-day operation, how they do it, how they can operate it, and so on. And what's the feature scope of cloud of their business, how cloud is achieving business for them. Because this will help you to, answer the customer objections that, okay, I don't like to add more security layers to my cloud applications. I'm getting it from Amazon. Amazon is fantastic. They are doing some security over there. So again, I'm fine. I don't need. So as long as you understand how the cloud application part of their business, the more you will be able to highlight risk related to unsecuring it. And how do they monitoring internally to cloud activity? What kind of visibilities they have for now? And then once you get this understanding, you will be able to know what exactly the level they are getting visibility and monitoring. So, and then you will be able to add the other visibility or the more visibility and controls you will be able to achieve when they consider a CASB solution, for example, in front of their cloud application. Figuring out the competition, it's really important for you as a partner. So that will help you, to understand the current visibility happening as a customer account. So, I'm not saying competition like Office 365. No, it's not a competition for us or Microsoft even, but we are here to help customers with Office 365 to add more visibility and control to their environment. But however, if you are feeling that there is a kind of competition as account, we have to figure it out, discuss it with us, and we're able to tackle it together and give you like a best approach. How can we take it off that account? Simply, it's like a give and take discussion. It's like a job interview. So when we discuss with the customer, you should drive it in a way of give and take to get more understanding and visibility on customer cloud applications. How is it going? So again, all of us as a tech guys understand that cloud application, it comes in three main infrastructure platforms. Some of them it comes like infrastructure as a service, which is IaaS, and some of them comes like a platform as a service, and some cloud applications comes like SaaS, which is software as a service. So what's the difference between three of them? Actually, it's all about manageability and visibility and control. So if it's like a IaaS kind of cloud application infrastructure, it means that you are not owning the virtualization layer. However, you're owning everything on top of it. So the OS, the middleware, the runtime, the data, the applications. So you are managing your application. So it's under your visibility and under your control. The platform as a service, you don't have or you don't own the runtime or the middleware or even the virtualization layer. However, you only own your applications. You just taking like a platform and you're putting your application on top of it and your data along with your application. So this is only what you can manage and get visibility about it. The most challenging one, which is the last one, which is the SaaS, because you are not owning anything. Even the application, even your data, it's not on your premises, it's not under your control, it's hosted on your cloud service provider. So this is the more challenging one. I'm not saying that it's a fully risky one, because again, Microsoft, one of the most, advanced vendors with an advanced SLAs related to, application running and data hosting. However, I'm talking about visibility and control from customer perspective. So this is the most difficult one to get visibility and control it, because simply you will be only eligible to the level of visibility and control provided to you from Office 365 or from Microsoft. So again, here we are discussing all of three platforms. How can you get the most visibility and control to it? So simply the formula for successful adoption to Office 365. First one, which is to enhance Microsoft's integrated cloud security. Again, this is required to improve the visibility and control against advanced threats and data loss across Office 365. And also to maintain the consistent compliance, so into Microsoft ecosystem and beyond Microsoft also, so you can extend it to other cloud applications related to your environment as well. And the second one, which is taking back the control of unsanctioned IT application, because this is a kind of, I would say, it's a big black hole for any organizations. Actually, our internal users in organizations, they are fantastic. They will surprise you with a lot of cloud apps they are using to facilitate their day-to-day work. So all of this cloud application, it could be risky to your environment from a perspective of that they can use that kind of application which is allow transfer to, file share or file transfer, a kind of content posting. So to get the visibility of these unsanctioned as shadow IT applications, so ForcePoint will help to, get the full visibility and the full adoption of Office 365 and maintain the workforce productivity and reduce the risk as well. Implementing the right network architecture, which should be compatible with your Office 365 deployment architecture as well. So if your Office 365 in a hybrid mode, we should offer the security related to it from ForcePoint to support hybrid mode. If it's a fully on cloud, we have the offering which is related to the full cloud deployment. So again, implement the risk network architecture. This will help you to improve the user experience and reduce the cost as you fully adapt Microsoft applications and mitigate users to the cloud. So the output of this successful adoption to Office 365, customer and organization will be increasing the productivity by moving to Office 365 and getting all the benefits from Office 365 while maintaining the compliance and reducing the risk. As an enhanced security for Office 365 for integrated cloud security, simply this will help the customer to identify, prevent high-risk user behavior, including a compromised account access and malicious users as well. Because the more visibility customers will be getting in Office 365, this will help them to get a behavior analysis layer with the user risk score calculation and detecting a kind of malicious activity related to user accounts, like account takeover, like a brute force attacks, and from which locations he's accessing, and so on. Gaining the visibility and control for bringing or allowing the user to bring their own devices and access the cloud applications. So again, it could be a risk for organization if they didn't control it, because I'm a user, I could bring my personal phone and access Office 365, and I will start downloading, the content from there. So you need to have a layer, security layer, to control and give user visibility. So you can say, for example, okay, for managed devices, which is related to our organization, it will be allowed to access Office 365 and download the attachments. But for unmanaged device, which is, it could be a personal devices, it could be non-related to our organization, if they access an Office 365, they only can view, however, they cannot download the content. So this kind of control is required to be achieved in order to, get more visibility and control, and also reducing the risk, the security operational cost, and configuration risk as well. So this is also required because the more visibility and analysis you'll be getting in your dashboard, it will reduce the operational cost related to securing Office 365 and your cloud apps as well. Risk adaptive data protection, this is the most important, control customers usually looking for it when it comes to Office 365, because usually when users get Office 365, they will be getting a OneDrive account attached to it. So all the attachment and all kind of data attached to Office 365, it will be on OneDrive. So again, this could be like data coming from your internet share folders. This data could be coming from your or customer or organization database. So again, this should keep protected on cloud and not to be allowed to be shared to external and so on. So enterprise class risk adaptive data protection, it's required. And the most important, or the beauty of it, is to be mapped based on the user risk. So only risky users will be, not allowed to share or access this sensitive data. However, and on the other side, non-risky users, they should keep allowed. So to have this kind of dynamic or risk adaptive data protection approach, you should be ready or having the understanding of user behavior. So this is what ForcePoint CASP can add to customers as well, and ForcePoint behavior analytics capabilities on top of our CASP. So we'll be able to assign a risk score to users, and accordingly, you will be able to, apply different action related to users' activity on customers' data as well. Detect and prevent advanced threats. It's really important to, analysis whatever kind uploaded or downloaded to your cloud applications. So that's why sandboxing capabilities, or let's say, analysis for files to be uploaded and downloaded. This is also important to apply the required, security against malicious content. Maintaining the context compliance across Office 365 and beyond it, again, compliance is the most important one. So to maintain the compliance on Office 365 or Microsoft ecosystem and beyond it, you should be able to review the security configuration applied to your cloud applications. So data protection, you should be getting a visibility and able to control it, like intellectual property data, like a kind of financial related data, and also data related to some compliance, like a GDPR, like, PII information and so on. And also identifying license over spent across all of your cloud applications. So we'll be able to give you a visibility how many users account are created in Office 365 and it's not active. You have a user account on Office 365 still active and you are paying the license for it. However, these users, they are, resigned from the organization. You have like an account, users didn't open it since 30 or 60 days ago. So, we can present a dashboard also saying that you have financial loss based on spending license on users, which is not active within your organization. And also the benchmark of Office 365 through cloud app deployment and configurations is what I discussed about, which is reviewing security configuration and comparing it with a compliance security configurations. Like, for example, in PCI DSS or in a PCI compliance, regulations are saying that, okay, password expiration on cloud application, it should be after 30 days. However, our Office 365 administrator, he missed this part of configuration and he did it after 90 days. So this is a compliance issue. So that's why Office 365 security configuration will be reviewed by our CASP, and then you will be getting a dashboard which parts of Office 365 configuration far from your compliance. So you can just internally raise a ticket to your Office 365 admin so he can edit it and follow the required regulation. User and partner activity audit, which is really important because Office 365 now, I would say it's not only now organizations start using it, not only for internal users, and also they are using it and for partners as well. Dealing with this organization. So getting the activity audit, what they are doing in Office 365, this is also, again, part of the required visibility to be achieved. Privileged user monitoring, which is the most important one. This is related to the admin accounts or the high admin account, the high privilege accounts related to your cloud application. So this is also really important to get the visibility and control for it. So you need to know what exactly the privileged user are doing on your cloud application. So usually what we do with our CASP, we put them under watching list. So these kind of privileged accounts will be monitoring, and whatever kind of incidents it will be done to these accounts, it will be highly analyzed and calculated. So just to give you like a brief, how can you take the control back of unsanctioned application related to your organization, which is good, impacting the full adoption to Office 365 and also maintaining the workforce productivity and reduce the risk. So enable to achieve that, what we can do as with ForcePoint, that we can give you like a dashboard after analyzing the logs related to your coming from your firewall, or you can analyze the logs coming from your web proxy. So we can present you a dashboard with all the cloud application used in your environment. So you can identify the use of cloud applications, like what exactly applications are used. Is it sanctioned or sanctioned application? And we'll be able to understand the organization risk as well. In addition to that, we'll be able to, give you the visibility about the employees to migrate to sanctioned applications. So again, if Office 365 is there and it's used, you could consider it as a sanctioned application and add it behind our security controls as well. And the rest also onboarding application legitimate, to line of business related to IT that was also not acquired by IT procurement process. So again, and applies a required control and correct due to diligence as well. So again, what I would like to say, based on the analysis we can do with our CASP, the more control and visibility you will be getting on your unsanctioned applications. We'll be able to decide what kind of applications should be used on your organization, what exactly users are doing. So I'm just zooming in this part of the dashboard. So as you can see, it's giving like more details on how many cloud applications have been used in your organization, what kind of risky application is there, and from where these applications are accessed. So again, this application is not yet integrated with our CASP protection. However, this is from the analysis we did to organization logs related to a firewall and so on. So moving forward, what exactly products from ForcePoint portfolio will be relevant to Office 365 security, and how this product can work together to deliver the end-to-end security, and how it will be integrated to work together to protect Office 365. So simply, I would start with ForcePoint email security. So this is our email security gateway. As you know, this is for anti-spam, for anti-phishing. So an Office 365 is like an online exchange service. So anti-spam solutions or a mail gateway solution will be required to detect and prevent advanced and targeted email attacks, to improve the email quarantine management and integrate also the DLP capabilities with your email channel communication as well. This takes us to the second product, which is ForcePoint DLP, which is our full enterprise DLP. This is like a DLP server to be implemented in customer's organization, getting the access to customer internal sensitive document on shared folders or database and so on. Based on this understanding to this internal data, then we'll be able to apply the required data protection policy related to it. So we'll be able to protect critical data migration into Office 365, and also be able to detect and control the risky file sharing on these cloud apps or in email attachment as well. We also be able to extend the value to Azure information protection. So again, ForcePoint DLP is ready to integrate with Microsoft Information Protection System. This is for data classification and encryption for files. So also the DLP will be able, ForcePoint DLP will be able to integrate with Microsoft Information Protection. So we'll be able to understand the classification labels from there, and then we can apply the required policy controls to allow or deny data sharing or data attachment to Office 365 based on the classification level related to this data. So automatically this takes us to ForcePoint CASB as well as a cloud access security broker. For who don't know about CASB solution, CASB is all about like a proxy in front of your cloud applications, but it's implemented in a reverse proxy mode of deployment. So it's like an inline way of communication, of integration in front of your cloud applications. So this is for integrated user behavior analysis and getting them and monitors all the account access and identifying the high risk users by giving a risk score to all of these risk users as well. And also to be helping you to take the action to block compromised accounts and malicious users as well. The device access visibility and control will be also required, as we explained, that we can allow the user bring their own devices. However, we can control what exactly the activities they can do related to our cloud applications and related to our data. Who's allowed to download to his personal device, who's allowed not to download the data, and so on. And related to the security part or the malicious content part coming from your cloud application, that's why we require ForcePoint AMD, which is Advanced Malware Detection, which is our sandbox technology. So it integrates with a CASB and also integrates with ForcePoint email security. This is like a one product integrating with other two products as well, CASB and email as well. So this will help organization to provide the advanced threat detection for Exchange Online and OneDrive as well through the file behavior sandboxing. And that's it. It's like a symbol. Nothing to talk more about the AMD solution. I mean, sandboxing, everyone knows about it. So this is how we developed our portfolio to cover, or to adapt your customer security to Office 365. So I will put it, in brief, in a short terms for you again. ForcePoint email security, anti-spam solution to protect Office 365 as an online exchange against anti-spam, anti-phishing emails. DLP is also required to protect and control the data will be shared by email or uploaded to cloud applications. And also CASB is required to be in line when the user is accessing these cloud applications and doing activity over there. So the behavior analysis will be required as well. That's why CASB is there. Advanced malware analysis or sandboxing capabilities is also required for advanced threats, and this should be available and integrated with the email to review the attachment, and also with the CASB to review the upload and download documents from there. So this is, and by the way, the DLP also as a product from ForcePoint, it's natively integrated with the ForcePoint CASB and ForcePoint email as well. So you have like an end-to-end, harmony products working together. So you have a DLP integrated with a CASB, integrated with the email. You have an AMD integrated with the CASB and integrated with the email as well. So all of them will work together to, cover all the customer required use cases. That's why in the beginning, I mentioned the more discussion and the more details you get from the customer, the more give and take discussion or way of questioning you get it from your customer, the more understanding you get, and the more, easy for us to architect the solution, because customer is not mandatory for customers to go in a one shot with these four products together. It depends on the customer use cases. So if the customer only concerned about emails and covering the data through these emails and that's it. So again, he can start with using our email gateway with our DLP. As the next phase for him, he could go with our CASB as well. So again, the most understanding you get, the more will help us to architect and customize the solution to support the customer as well. So based on this, integration between these four products, when they work together to protect Office 365, what would be the output from this integration? So first of all, you will be able to achieve the top 5 Office 365 problems that can be solved out of the box. First of all, user oversharing data in OneDrive. This is one of the most crazy, use cases a customer always suffering from it. Users are sharing data on OneDrive, sharing it with external. Users are downloading data on, so again, this is also can be controlled. So we'll be able to detect if sensitive data getting a share access to external from OneDrive, and then we'll be able to apply the required protection for it. And also we can run an API on Office 365, so we can mitigate and cancel this sharing as well. Attackers also stealing some credentials related to Office 365, and with some weak security policies as well. So this is like an account takeover activity, and it's really common across all of Office 365 users. So we have the understanding, and based on the user behavior analysis, we'll be able to detect such kind of malicious activity related to Office 365. So simply, how can we detect it? We'll be able to detect the locations that user accessing from, what kind of device he is using, the time frames, the timeline related to this activity. And based on the user behavior analysis algorithms we have, we'll be able to decide and alert this is an account takeover. As an action for that, we can block the user access to Office 365, for example, for few hours, or we can block it and ask him to communicate back with his administrator. The third one, which is audit and control for admin actions, because sometimes you could, perform some actions by mistake on your cloud applications as an administrators. So, you need to have the full visibility and control what exactly admins are doing in Office 5 or Microsoft Cloud applications as well. Discovering and control the personal data on Office 365. This is really mandatory, one of the compliance requirements, for example, in GDPR. So this is also for GDPR purpose. So again, we'll be able to discover and control your personal data on Office 365. For BII information, we can detect it by running a discovery task on your Office 365, on your OneDrive. It will be discovering all the BII related information and report it in a dashboard, and also you can apply an actions related to it. Again, employees and third party accessing your Office 365. So you can expect people coming from corporate devices, and you can expect people also bringing their own devices, which is a non-corporate for our organization or for customer organization. That's why device management and controls should be there on your Office 365. This is what we can achieve with our solution offering to Office 365 customers. We can again control if user is coming from a corporate device, he can download the attachment and view the email. But if he's coming from his personal device, he only can view and cannot download the attachment. So all of these 5 use cases, you will find it from your customer when you discuss it with him. And the more, again, I will keep saying it, the more, questions you ask your customer about his use cases and the expectation from his cloud applications, the more use cases you will get, and also will be able to cover it to the customer. So I would like to say that this is like a screenshot from our DLP server, for example, on the right side, and just to prove it for you how this solution will be helping and protecting customer data on cloud, like Office 365. So as you can see on the right side, this is from our DLP action plan. So you can see here that we can take an action on the cloud channel on our CASB service. So you can permit, we can save the copy, and we can quarantine with not. So again, we can extend the data protection controls to CASB channel, which is to the cloud channel as well. In addition to that, we'll also be able to, give it like a node, like CASB service action, to the user that we can, if it's not allowed or he, action will be quarantined. So user will be getting like a block page when he downloading a kind of sensitive content from Office 365 and so on. So this is like our cloud app architecture. It also will help you, to get the full visibility, and you can run an APIs to discover and scan your cloud application. So we'll be able to run a discovery task to explore your sensitive data over there, and also you can run an APIs to mitigate some kind of activity happening on your Office 365 or cloud apps as well. From CASB perspective, this is our architecture. I will not go through it. It could be a little bit deep technical for most of the audience we have in the session today. However, just to let you know simply that our CASB cloud service getting, the device control capabilities to control user access, devices accessing to your cloud application. So on the right side here, let me put a pointer. Okay, so on the right side here, you have your cloud applications. So Office 365 is one of them. And you can also add more cloud applications to be protected. Our CASB service implemented in inline mode of protection and API mode of communication as well. So again, users over here will be accessing, so it could be accessing directly to your cloud application. So they will be enforced to go through our CASB service, or users will be accessing from managed or unmanaged devices. All of this communication is enforced to go through ForcePoint CASB service. So and it will take it again to your Office 365. So that's why we are saying all the visibility or all the required visibility and control will be done through our CASB as well. And also our CASB is ready to integrate with customer SIEM solutions in customers' environment. Also, IDP or identity provider solutions like a single sign-on will be required again to maintain the user access or validate the user access to this cloud application as well. As I mentioned, ForcePoint DLP is natively integrated with ForcePoint CASB, so your DLP server getting understanding and deployed, in a protector mode of integration. So this is after getting the understanding of your internal data. This understanding can be extended to ForcePoint CASB. So you can configure data protection policies on CASB to protect this sensitive data on your cloud application. And you will be getting the instance on your DLP server. So you will be having one server protecting your internal data on your endpoint, protecting your data in your email channel, which is the data attached to Office 365 emails, and also protecting the data could be downloaded from OneDrive or other cloud applications. So again, all of this will be, monitored and presented in a dashboard on your DLP server based on the integration with CASB and email gateway as well. So as an output or benefit of this integration between a CASB and our network DLP capabilities, this will help you to leverage the on-prem DLP policy and extend it to the cloud, the real-time protection of any cloud application activity containing any of our sensitive or classified data. Fingerprinting and machine learning features will be extended to the data on your cloud application, so we'll be able to giving you the flavor of machine learning about your, sensitive data, and we'll be able to alert against the data which is never seen before, and it looks like related to your sensitive or classified data. The quick integration between the solutions, this is what I mentioned, it's natively integrated together. We are not relying on third party to integrate these solutions together. It's not like a portfolio with products in different silos. No, these products are developed and built for a purpose. So that's why we have a DLP natively integrated with our email, with our CASB, our AMD natively integrated with our CASB, with our email. So that's why we are, leading the market and the technologies and other vendors when it comes to Office 365 for, protection. Incident risk ranking. So again, this is based on our behavior analytics capability. So we'll be able to give a risk score related to the instance coming to customers' dashboard, and also we'll be able to provide like a user behavior risk score, how users are acting in your organization, is the risk user or non-risk user, and so on. OCR features also you will be getting based on this integration, which is optical character recognition. So if you have an image with a textual content, so again, this can be analyzed and translated from this image into text format, and then compared with a classified protected data within your organization. So again, this is a lot of use cases, and we can keep listing more and more. That's why the more understanding you get from your customer, the more coverage you'll be able to achieve. So as a quick question here, is it ForcePoint CASB only developed for Office 365? The quick answer for that is no. We have a full understanding and native integration with 1,000 of applications related to organizations' business. So that's why if the customer is investing in ForcePoint CASB solution along with other ForcePoint solutions related to Office 365 protection, he will never lose this investment, and he can build and get the ROI in the future if he is adding more cloud application to his environment. So he will be able to add it to our CASB and utilizing it more and more as well. So I'm just done with my presentation and my slides. Before we go to, the questioning part, I will brief it to you again, my friends over here. So ForcePoint has an end-to-end portfolio enabled with products designed and built for a purpose to apply the required protection for all customers' organization. As an example, we are discussing here Office 365, one of the use cases. That's why we have our ForcePoint CASB, ForcePoint DLP, and ForcePoint Email Security Gateway, along with a ForcePoint Advanced Malware Detection. All of these 4 products are integrated together, can work as an end-to-end and cover, all the required use cases related to Office 365 protection. Before we go with questions, I would like to let you know, the more you work with ForcePoint, the more, financial benefits you will be able to achieve. And the more margins you will be able to get compared with Microsoft. We have a little bit experience how partners are getting margins from Microsoft. We are more flexible than Microsoft. So no worries, go for more selling with ForcePoint, and the more margins you will be able to achieve from this selling. And from technical and pre-sales perspective, or even post-sales perspective, we are ready to support you during your selling to your customer. From a pre-sales perspective, we have a huge pre-sales team covering the region, and it's distributed everywhere. We have a team, regional teams taking care of the region everywhere. So we'll be able to help you with a customer meeting on sites, online calls, required documentations, architecting solutions, and proposal, and so on. Even for post-sales, ForcePoint have a huge post-sales team distributed across all over the world, and we'll be able to cover all the customer and reach all the customer required support if it's required at any place all over the world. Thank you, everyone. I will pass it to my colleague over here. So,
hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your attentiveness. We will quickly quickly have a few minutes for Q&A. We'll just go through the chat panel if there are any questions that we can answer. Nothing in chat right now. Okay, we'll just give another minute if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, we'll give you your 5 minutes back. And on behalf of everybody here, just like to thank you for your attendance. And for anybody who could not attend, you can be rest assured we will circulate the recording of the webinar so that you can have information on it. Yes, for Amrit Raj, we will be sharing the version of slides as well. Yes. There is one question from Tamal. It says, what about the pricing patterns? Can you have an understanding that they can get on how it is priced
okay.
per user pattern?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Yeah, it's a really valid question over here. So the way ForcePoint price our products is based on the number of users and the number of applications required to be protected. And the good thing about ForcePoint pricing that, for example, for Office 365, we don't charge per Office 365 itself, OneDrive itself, Teams. So all of these products are related to Microsoft Office 365 as a cloud applications. So again, we count them as only one application. So we are easy when it comes to pricing, but the way we price it based on number of users and based on number of cloud applications.
Would there also be any tiered pricing? So, for example, for a specific volume, they can enjoy a better price, right?
So you have it, and also based on the partnership levels you have. So based on their partnerships, you will be able to get a certain level of discounts based on the deregistration as well. So you'll be able to achieve a different kind of pricing as well.
Right.
And just don't worry about pricing, guys. If you have a kind of a challenge or pricing could be a showstopper for you to win the deal or to get this business, our sales team is really supportive to help you with the required pricing because they have a full understanding about the competition around us.
Right. In general practice, what is required for a partner to achieve a certain level of partnership? Is it just certifications? Do they have to achieve?
Yes. Actually, I will add a little bit info here because we need more details from our channel management team. But what I know as of now is that they require a number of certification, a certain value of revenue they need to achieve, and then they will be eligible for the second level of partnership. But however, we don't say that they will not be getting the required support. I mean, even if they are just registered yesterday and they are still associated partner without any certification, without any revenue, the SLA is saying that they need to get the full support from the SE team, sales engineering team, from the management, from the sales team as well. Yeah. So to help them doing more business, yes.
One more question here is how is this implemented? Is there a configuration portal done by sending a link?
If I'm getting the right understanding from your questions, it's saying how this will be implemented. So we are talking about different products here. We talked about Mail Gateway, we talked about GASB, and we talked about a DLB. AMD is like, as an add-on on top of these products together. So if I talk about email, for example, as a product to product Office 365, it's very simple. We have our email security cloud service. You need to implement it in the root of your email. So just you need to change customers MX record to our MX record. So all the inbound emails will come to our cloud email security platform. And for outbound emails, you just need to configure a send connector from your Office 365 to send outbound emails to our cloud, and also we'll be able to analyze it against anti-spam and anti-phishing as well. If we talk about, for example, for a DLB, it should be a server implemented in your organization because it's getting access to your internal classified document. So that's why it's like a server to be implemented internally. And this server also will be integrated and communicating with our cloud email and also with our CASB as well. So based using a component called Protector. If we talk about CASB is a cloud service and it will be implemented in a reverse proxy mode of implementation with your cloud application. If your cloud application supports that and you have an identity provider or a single sign-on solution in a customer organization. If you don't, we do support the API mode of integration as well. So it's a great question. I would like to thank you about it because what I mentioned right now should give you the confidence that we'll be able to support all the cloud deployment options you just need.
Okay, I don't think we have any other questions lined up in chat. With this, we can conclude our webinar. Again, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everybody to join. When the recording is circulated, please feel free to circulate it amongst your colleagues and the people you know who could not attend. Thanks again, and I wish all of you rest of a very good evening for the rest of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prashant.